Hey everyone, Thordan Smash here, and today we're going to be talking about, well, town takeovers in Apex Legends. It's been about a year since we got one. We did get the Wattson one on Stormpoint, but it didn't come with really any lore, and it isn't really explained that it's Wattson's. We're going to go over what's going to be the next town takeover we get. Is there going to be lore alongside it? And also, I'm going to show you guys a sneak peek of some stuff with the Bangalore town takeover that was never actually before seen. We're also going to go ahead and give out 45 bucks. All you got to do is like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. So I got this comment the other day on a video, and it actually made me think, and it was pretty interesting. The player said they were kind of new, playing for only a year, and I don't know what a town takeover is, and I realized that is a very sad thought, because town takeovers used to be one of the best things in Apex Legends. The last one we did get was the Wattson town takeover over on Stormpoint. It kind of looks like her heirloom, but it's just a giant pylon tower. There was a little bit of a back and forth with the community because a lot of Wattson mains really felt like they kind of got ripped off. They went ahead and said that Rampart town takeover lets you get modded guns, Cryptos lets you scan ring and enemies, Lifeline heals you and gives you care package, Caustic has his ultimate, Pathfinder boxing, so on and so forth. But for Wattson's, all you get is a Nessie, and the area is good for fences, which is kind of true and kind of sad when we look back at some of the great town takeovers and what they used to mean. Like that Reddit thread posted out, Pathfinder got an entire boxing ring where you could only do melee, which fit into his lore character with his heirloom of boxing gloves. You also had Octane with his jump pad arena with the stunts going through the flaming middle ring. And of course, Bloodhounds brought in the brand new AI enemies of Prowlers where you could go ahead and get unique loot. And overall, these were really cool aspects of Apex Legends that they went ahead and brought into the game that tied into the lore of the character and just made the world feel more alive, and it was really something fun to look forward to with map updates. But we haven't gotten one since, well, I think season 19 with that Wattson one, and that was the last time we got a legend heirloom. For whatever reason, it seems like we're getting less character driven stuff in the game, whether it be heirlooms or the lore of town takeovers. And that's a little bit sad because they were, like I said, one of the funnest things in the game, and I do hope they make a return. Now, the latest news that we have apparently is that Voltac Titan on the subreddit did say that they are working on a Broken Moon town takeover. It would probably be for Catalyst or Seer, that would be my imagination. At first he was told it would be the Encore Arena map, but I was told by another source that it would be something different. Ritz King was wondering if it had anything to do with the Newcastle heirloom, which seems to be the next one coming in, so a Newcastle town takeover. That would make sense, however, Newcastle doesn't have many ties to Broken Moon. He does actually have a lot of ties to Stormpoint, and there was a Bangalore town takeover that was very close to finish that we never actually got to see. This image in the top left with the arrow pointing to it was actually the 3D model from above on the map, and it was a big military installation right next to the crashed ship, Hestia, which was the ship that Newcastle and Bangalore both were on when they were with the IMC. Now, there was actually a way to import some of the game files to make this on R5, and you can see it in the background right here. Unfortunately, it isn't fully textured, so it was never really that close to completion or that far along. But it had some zip lines in places. It was a pretty big installation. It had multiple floors. Sadly, though, it just never ended up making it to the final cut of the game. So the next town takeover, if it is on Broken Moon, would be Seer or Catalyst, probably not Newcastle. However, the next map that's actually getting an update is going to be Olympus. I believe it's MU3 in the files. And once again, Olympus is getting destroyed. I don't know what legend you do a town takeover for here. Maybe Horizon? That would make the most sense. She's a highly picked legend. We haven't gotten a town takeover for her yet. And she does have a lot of recent lore with Alter in the game. Maybe it would be even a Horizon / joint Alter town takeover, if they are going to decide to even do town takeovers going forward in the future. There was also something really interesting that I wanted to go ahead and share that a user posted on Reddit. It's Hazar right here, and they went into a bot lobby and they accidentally got the Dummies New Day mode with the abilities. You can see right here at the very end of the video, there's a passive good hustle, tactical loot spawner, and an ultimate panic button. These look to be the new abilities coming for the Dummies Big Day, which is a mode from a past event, the Grand Soiree, which had 5 different game modes. I'm really looking forward to this coming back. I do hope that Respawn hasn't moved permanently away from what made the game great when it first launched, with all the town takeovers and unique characters and a lot of the lore driven stuff, because it's always been one of the big selling points of Apex Legends. It does seem like they are going to be attempting to go back to it a little bit, as there was a recent video put up by their Apex Legends Twitter account. They didn't put it on their full YouTube account, so it is pretty cool, and it goes over the lore and history of Apex Legends. I'll play it here, and I hope that this is actually a sign of future things to come, that they are going to be moving back in the direction of where the game was in earlier years, with how much love and craft was put into not only the characters, but the maps and the town takeovers that went with them with the brand new heirloom.
Hey, looking for an Apex history lesson, huh? Well, I didn't exactly ace frontier studies in high school, but I know my way around this one. You just gotta go back a few centuries to get the whole story. Let's start with Earth, Pluto, the whole Milky Way. Those are old news. You and me are at the edge of the frontier. A region of space about as far away from the cradle of humanity as you can get. People have been building settlements in the frontier since the 2200s, so that's like, what, 500 years? This isn't just some backwater either. Sure, we've got farms and some one-trident towns, but we've also got interstellar travel, labs full of brainiac scientists, and cities the size of planets. Angel City used to be my old stomping ground when I bothered touching down. All of that expansion was funded by the IMC, Interstellar Manufacturing Corp. Blah, 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 blah. They thought that meant they had the run of the place. Some folks called the Frontier Militia didn't see it that way. That turned into a dogfight that lasted decades. The only thing that could end it was... yeah, baby! Titans are walking battle tanks controlled by elite fighters called pilots. That one runs in the family. The end of the Frontier War came down to who had the best Titan pilot 1-2 punch. And then...
I'll take it from here. This part's my bread and butter. Nobody knows what happened in the final fight between the IMC and the militia. Right when the battle should have been over, somebody flipped a switch, and the Frontier's comms went dark. With no way to call for aid, and tapped of resources by the war, people packed up and headed for the Outlands. The Outlands are a far-off corner of the frontier that went mostly untouched by the war. Thousands of people travel to the Outlands looking for a better life. And wouldn't you know it, when a bunch of people want the same stash of supplies, things can get foobar. A civil war broke out between the Outlands planets, and it'd probably still be raging today if the mercenary syndicate hadn't stepped in. That bunch of old war dogs wasn't interested in fighting over ashes, so they got all the right leaders to the table and signed the Syndicate Treaty. Not everybody showed up that day, but enough put their heads together to create a real confederation of planets. The treaty offered peace, infrastructure support, and trade, and a massively popular sport called...
The Apex Games! This is where I shine. Okay. So, the games are a blood sport, where everyone fights to be the last team standing. You've got to focus on weapons, positioning, team composition, strategy, and, you know, having a good time. People come here from all over the Outlands to compete, and even more tune in to cheer for their favorites. The greatest competitors of all become legends.
Looking for me?
And away we go!
Oh, what a rush!
Surviving's not for everyone.
You got bamboozled.
Don't have all the fun without me!
Legends are some of the best fighters in the Outlands, and each of us have our own special skills. The Apex Games can be brutal, and not everyone who enters the ring comes out alive. But the Legends have survived against all odds, so we keep coming back, match after match, to see who are the real Apex champions. I guess that gives some people a big head. Some of them keep ending up in the middle of crazy situations that change the Outlands forever. Whether it's saving it, or definitely not saving it. That sounds fun and everything. Pero ako, I've got my eyes on the prize. You know?
The sun will rise on all of us.
The Apex Games have changed a lot, too. New places becoming Apex arenas, secret labs getting dug up or blown up, ships crashing, cities falling out of the sky, lobster monsters attacking. It never gets old, whether you're watching it or living it. I can't wait to see what's next.
Let me know down below, what kind of town takeovers would you like to see and what legends do you think deserve them? Also, don't forget to check out this video right here by my editor Novell, who does amazing Apex Legends content.